We're back. Our guests on this segment, Dr. Kevin Woller, a professor here at RSU, and Amanda Forsyth, a student and eSport team member. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to pick on you in just a minute, so you hang tough.
Uh-oh.
You, Doctor, were the one that brought eSport to our attention. So let's go back to square one and talk a little bit about eSports.
Well, let me correct that. It was our athletic director, Dr. Chris Radcliffe, who brought eSports to this campus. And so he got the idea from the sporting world, and he gave the go-ahead for our facility and to hire a coach. Now,
But you brought it to my attention.
Yeah, I am the academic side. Mm-hmm. So what I saw, actually, it went back to my son, Logan, who got $16,500 in scholarship money to go to Tiffin in Ohio because they have a minor there. And so I thought, well, this is real now. So I started doing research, and I found only 4 universities in the entirety of the United States: Tiffin in Ohio, University of Utah, Shenandoah in Virginia, Becker in Massachusetts, that offer degrees. And I thought, wow, what an opportunity. Let's offer a degree here at Rogers State University. I started working on a minor, and that was my major contribution. From my minor, Curtis Sparling, who is in another department, saw the opportunity to make a degree. So we have both a degree, a computing degree, I believe it is, and he's probably going to correct me after this, but with an eSports option. And then I have the minor. So we'll have both a degree and a minor to offer to our athletes hopefully soon, our eSports competitors here at Rogers State University.
All right. Amanda, we've heard the framework and the ground level framework, if you will, of getting it launched here. How did you come into the picture?
Well, it was, for me, it was sort of a last minute decision, just because I got the email about the Overwatch tryouts, and right up until 5 minutes before, I was still debating whether or not I was going to go. And I'd heard about the program through our RSU social media pages while I was actually on like a hiatus from school. I'd been out for about a year, hadn't gone, and seeing that, and then I'd enrolled in the fall part-time, and then getting the emails about the game that I wanted to compete in, having tryouts, kind of just was the ball that I rolled.
Well, you're breaking ground both for yourself and the school as well, because aren't you the first female to be involved?
Right now I am the only female that's competing, yes. We have a girl that's practicing with us now, and then we have a lot of girls that play in the eSports lab, they just aren't competing yet. It would be nice to see more competitors, and it's our eSports facility is open to everybody. And I've felt that, like being the only girl, I haven't felt excluded or picked on in any way. It's been very welcoming from everybody. So.
Okay, help me understand, because I go back in terms of electronic games. I go back to Duke Nukem. I mean, that's how far back I go, right? Occasionally solitaire, yeah, whatever. So the games that we're talking about here are really intricate. They're involved and require quite a bit of savvy, don't they?
Yeah, there is a lot of like thinking components to the games that we're playing, and teamwork is essential for a lot of them. Like Overwatch, communication makes it a lot easier to know what's going on around you if you can't see. And
what is that?
Communication?
No, the Overwatch.
Oh, Overwatch. It's a first-person shooter. It also acts on like a MOBA style, so every character that you can play as does something different from another character in the game. And then each character also has a role that they fill. So there are support characters, DPS characters, and tanks.
You do understand that she's left me in the dirt.
I do.
I mean, are you with me on this? I'm back here going.
No,
I'm trying my best.
I feel like Johnny Appleseed who fell off the wagon, you know, and got to be Johnny Appleseed, and long story.
I remember.
Are you as far backward here as I am?
No, and I used to be a gamer, and I used to play Duke Nukem as well. But seeing as my son is a gamer, he, like I said, he got a scholarship to go to Tiffin, but he'd rather go here. because having played with both the Tiffin athletes and the athletes here at Rogers State University, he says the athletes here are better. A tank, just think of a tank. What does a tank do? It's defensive. It's the one that can take a lot more damage. And so in your game, it's the one that you typically put in the forefront of the activities. The support are usually the healers, the ones that will take care of the tanks and the other attackers. And so it's a combined effort. It's a lot of strategy, like Amanda said, a lot of thinking. It's a lot different from just shoot 'em up Duke Nukem games. You have groups. You have to work in tandem with other groups, so it's a real team sport. Think of baseball, think of football. It's the same kind of idea. Competitors working together for a common goal.
Let's hone this down a little bit so the folks at home who might be like me are not quite up to speed. We're not talking about esports being limited to basketball or football or anything else, are we? We're talking about a broad spectrum of games.
As a matter of fact, any game can be implemented into the esports program if you can get the people to form the team with. The teams we have right now and the games that are for those teams are just because students came forward and like, well, I want to make a team for this game, and they held tryouts and formed their teams. So right now I know we have a Rocket League team, we have Overwatch, CSGO, there was League of Legends, and I know that there's a lot of people talking about trying to form their own teams with games they want to compete in. We have a pretty big focus on fighters too, which we just are trying to implement what we're going to call Friday Fight Nights, where competitive fighter games like Super Smash Brothers, Soul Calibur, Tekken will be played every Friday night for gamers that are interested in those types of games.
You know, Dr. Woller and I were talking, I think last time you were here, there's a group in Tulsa of 3 or 4 men, well, at least it was 3 or 4 at the time, successful businessmen who every Friday afternoon shut down, and they've got special chairs in different offices and different buildings, and they have war games, but they're World War II vintage planes, and they go into combat mode, and they might have a squadron over here, and they might have a squadron over here, and they have the games that get very involved because the chairs that they're sitting in move with the computers.
Right.
Right. Yes.
And the sound systems are mind-boggling. I mean, you hear the engines roar.
No, Amanda is absolutely correct. There's so many different games.
Yeah.
A great example, and we have great gamers around here like Amanda. Michael Skimbo, who is a graduate of Claremore High. He's a Claremore Zebra. I think it was 3 months ago now that he won the All Madden tournament, which is a football game, an online football game. He won $155,000 for one tournament. And he's a graduate right here at Claremore High. So how about
late
that?
is Best Buy open?
That's what I'm saying. I wish I kept on playing.
Because,
So
man, I'm going to change my buying habits. I want to thank you for a couple of things. I want to thank you first for being here. But I want to thank you for the position you're in right now, because whether you realize it or not, you're setting an example for young women out there to come. And I think it behooves me to point out to you that is a big responsibility. And you're doing a great job at it.
Thank you.
And I want to tell you that I want to come over and watch this in action sometime.
Absolutely.
Is that permissible?
Well, I'm not the coach. I'm the academic guy, just trying to give athletes like Amanda an academic certificate along with their play. So, but as far as I understand, it's open, and you can go watch our athletes play any day.
They got popcorn?
Probably not by the
Something we bring up.
computers.
Hey, listen, thank you very much, and thank you again.
Of course.
And look for me.
We'll be
You
there.
never know. I'll be there in my Batman suit. We're out of time. Thank you for being a part of it, and we'll see you next time. I really